This is the Carty Method Podcast.
I've been a professional photographer for over 34 years, and I've seen firsthand how the wrong portfolio can keep photographers stuck and working with low-paying, difficult clients. I've worked with major brands, shot for top publications, and I built a career that allows me to have creative control over the projects that I take on. By the way, I didn't get here by luck. I got here by being intentional about what I showed in my portfolio. I've helped countless photographers transition from struggling to finding work with premium clients, and they're doing that by refining their portfolios. By the way, if you're getting the wrong clients, it's not bad luck, by the way. You're getting wrong clients because it's your portfolio. Your portfolio is attracting bad clients. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that. By the time you finish this episode, you're going to know exactly how to use your portfolio as a client magnet, one that attracts high-value clients who respect your work, who pay you what you're worth, and allow you to create work that you're actually excited about. If you're stuck, and you're working with lowballers, that would make anybody feel stuck. Or if you're taking on work that you don't love, stop doing that. This is how you break that cycle and start leveling up. So today, this is what we're going to cover. We're going to cover why your portfolio is single-handedly the most important thing. It's the most powerful marketing tool. I promise you, your portfolio is not just a collection of images. I promise, your portfolio is not just a collection of images. It's your first filter for client quality. Seriously, it's your first filter. How you curate your portfolio is so important. You have to curate your portfolio with intention. You have to remove work that attracts the wrong clients and start showcasing only the work that you want to be hired for. And today we're going to talk about how to use personal projects to attract high-paying clients. And by the way, if you don't have the work that you want in your portfolio yet, I'm going to show you how to create it. And I'm going to talk about how to price and position yourself correctly. The way that you present your portfolio directly affects how much clients are willing to pay. So, your portfolio is a magnet. It's a magnet. You have to make it attract the right clients. You literally have to make your portfolio attract the right clients. So let's look at Kate White. While I talk about your portfolio being more than just a collection of images, it's a strategic tool. It's a strategic tool that actually dictates the type of clients and the type of opportunities that you want to get. If you're constantly dealing with lowball clients, lowball offers, last minute clients, the hard thing is that also means that you're dealing with people who don't respect your work or they don't respect your time. And by the way, that's not bad luck. What that is, it's a direct reflection on what's going on in your portfolio and what that portfolio of yours is signaling to the world. So photographers often underestimate how much control they have over the type of work that they attract. I'm going to say that again. Photographers often underestimate how much control they have over the type of work that they attract. If your portfolio is filled with generic BS work, outdated projects, or images that don't reflect your current skill level or your desired niche, you can't be surprised when you keep landing clients who don't align with your vision. So what you showcase is actually what you'll be hired for. So how do you use your portfolio to attract high-paying, aligned clients? It starts with being intentional about what you create and how you present it. So you actually can go from passion projects to paid work. Many photographers wait for the perfect opportunity to land in their, they want this perfect opportunity to land in their lap, a big budget, a dream gig, or some amazingly connected referral. But the truth is, the best work doesn't come from waiting. It comes from creating the type of work that you want to be hired for. Let me show you Mark Seliger as I talk about the power of personal work. Mark Seliger took over as the chief photography officer for Rolling Stone after Annie Leibovitz. Annie Leibovitz left Rolling Stone and moved on to shooting for Vanity Fair. And Mark Seliger was like on the roster of photographers that they hired. He was definitely shooting for Rolling Stone at that time, but look at the work that this guy does. And he has such an approachability to his celebrity work, to his portraits. I mean, he's one of the most profound shooters going. Muhammad Ali and Michael J. Fox. This is De Niro and Pacino. I mean, Mark Seliger is unbelievably good. So I want you to think about the power of personal work. And I'm going to show you an amazing photographer and understand that these are all self-portraits. Personal projects aren't just creative experiments. They're a proof of concept. They allow you to create without limitations. There's no client restrictions. There's no creative compromises. It's just your vision. So what you're able to do is you're able to actually show what you do best. Instead of waiting for the right client, you showcase your style on your own terms. And as we look through Zigzag, like this photographer, this is all her. This is all self-portraits. This entire portfolio are self-portraits. So this photographer actually truly shows what she loves. And the work is on a level that is undescribably good. It's undescribably good. And I want you to realize that this is personal work. And this work has put this photographer on the map. And she shoots advertising. And it's beautiful. Imagine you get to show what you do best. Instead of waiting for that right client, you showcase your style on your own terms. And that helps you attract your ideal clients. People hire you for what they see. People hire you for what you share with them. So if your absolute best work isn't in your portfolio, how are the right clients going to find you? Like, seriously. So if you look at some of the most successful photographers, what you're going to notice is that their careers were often built on the back of personal work that later became paid work. Let's look at Corey Arnold. I'm sure you've seen the show called Deadliest Catch. Well, did you know that there's a photographer named Corey Arnold that actually was on the boats with them in the Bering Sea, and he actually was there creating work while this was happening? Like, how insane. Like, this started as personal work and then turned into him being the official photographer for The Deadliest Catch and living on a crab boat in the Bering Sea. So think about it. If you want to get booked for high-end editorial portraits, don't wait for a magazine to hire you. Make your own editorial shoot. If you want to shoot luxury brand campaigns, find a brand that you love, create spec work, and then showcase it as if you were already hired. This is how you do it. Don't wait to get hired. The most successful photographers aren't waiting for permission. They create the work that they want to be known for. Do you want to shoot cinematic fashion? Well, you got to plan test shoots and get stylists and get models. Are you into food photography? Well, you need to photograph dishes in a high-end way and share it as portfolio work. Do you want to get hired by brands? Do unpaid spec work at the level that you want to be paid for. So, your portfolio isn't a joke. When you put this work out there, once that work is visible, the right clients take notice. And believe me, Corey Arnold isn't a one-trick pony. And when you see the rest of this guy's work, he makes profound photography. He's really funny and amazing with his work. Like, I can't even express how much joy this guy's photography gives me. Like, it's almost a satire, the way that this guy shoots. It's almost a satire. And personal work, personal style to attract aligned clients. You can see he's using his personal style to attract clients. A common mistake that photographers make is showcasing work that they don't actually enjoy making. It's like they don't enjoy making the work, but they've simply been hired to do it in the past, so that's what they show. The problem? Your portfolio dictates your future bookings. Your portfolio dictates all your future bookings. And let's look at unplugging the selfie generation. Like, he shot for Nat Geo. Like, this is still Corey Arnold. Unplugging the selfie generation. It's, oh my goodness. Your portfolio dictates your future bookings. So, are you with me? If your portfolio is filled with thoughtfully executed high-end work, you're going to attract premium clients, okay? I promise you. If you have cheap-looking, rushed projects, you're going to attract budget-conscious clients, okay? The more authentic your portfolio is to your creative style, the more it's going to resonate with clients who understand your value, respect your pricing, are excited to work with you for your vision, not just your camera skills. So, how do you build a portfolio that speaks to your ideal market? How do you do that? Let me show you some more photography. How do you build an ideal portfolio that speaks to your ideal market? A portfolio isn't just about showcasing good pictures, okay? It's about positioning. If you want to be booked at a premium level, your portfolio needs to look premium. There's no way around it. If you want to get booked at a premium level, your portfolio needs to look premium. If you want to get hired for high-end editorial portraits, don't showcase casual headshots. If you want to work for luxury brands, don't show cheap small business branding work. If you want to shoot fashion campaigns, don't fill your portfolio with random street photography. Oh, look at Don Flood. Like, this guy's work is just crazy. Ask yourself, does my portfolio reflect the kind of work that I want to be hired for? Ask yourself that. And as we look at the work of Don Flood, if the answer is no, it's time to curate and create. You heard me? If the answer is no, it's time to curate and create. Remove work that doesn't align with your goals. Add more of what represents where you're headed. And if your dream work isn't there yet, go make it. You're the only one responsible for your fame as a photographer. You're the only one assigned the assignment of making you famous. You're the only one. There's nobody else who has that assignment. So, by the way, you should be throwing up in your mouth as I'm showing you Don Flood's portfolio. You should be literally gagging at how good this photographer is. Yes or yes? I do this for you. I do this for you to show you how hard you have to push. Let's talk about the value mirror. How your client list, like your client list reflects your self-worth, eh? Who you work with reflects how you value yourself as a photographer. Wrap that around your brain for a sec. I don't value myself very well, but I don't get very good clients. Well, why do you think that is? Like, seriously, why do you think that is? So, let me show you Nadav Kandar. Nadav Kandar is one of the most prolific portrait photographers. And by the way, your clients say more about you than you think. Your clients say more about you than you think. And trust me, your client list is a direct reflection of how you value yourself as a professional. Okay? It's easy to believe that bad clients are just bad luck. But more often than not, they're a symptom of a deeper issue. Your pricing, your positioning, and your boundaries. Like, that's usually the reason. So, if your inbox is full of clients who haggle over your rates, people expecting last minute availability, projects that feel like a constant headache, clients who don't respect your expertise, if that's what your inbox is filled with, the problem isn't just the clients. It's what your business model is. Your business model is actually attracting and allowing this to happen. It's attracting and allowing this to happen. Low value clients don't just appear out of nowhere. Promise. They're drawn to your low value positioning. Okay? They're drawn to it. Oh, this looks like someone I can afford. This looks like someone I can lowball. The way that you present your work, the way that you price your services, and the way that you communicate your worth, that will determine who inquires about your services. If you consistently attract clients who don't respect your time, what that is that's a sign that your brand is sending out the wrong signals. For reals. So there's a big cost when you say yes to the wrong work. It's a big cost when you say yes to the wrong work. Saying yes to every project, especially the wrong ones, that can have long-term consequences on your career. While it might feel like turning down work is a financial risk, oh my God, I'll never get hired again. It might seem like it's a financial risk. Accepting misaligned clients is actually more costly in the long run. And I'm going to get into why. It's way more costly in the long run. First of all, accepting every job dilutes your brand. It dilutes your brand. When you say yes to work that doesn't align with your expertise, you make it harder for premium clients to take you seriously. Think about that. Say yes to work that doesn't really work for you or with what you're doing. You make it so harder. You make it so much harder for premium clients to take you seriously. And also, here's another one that happens when you accept every job. Okay. Difficult clients drain your creative energy. Okay. Every project requires effort, and nightmare clients will take more energy than they're worth. That exhaustion, that prevents you from delivering your best work. These low paying jobs, they limit your opportunities. Every hour that you spend on a low budget, low baller client is an hour that you could have used to create work that attracts higher paying clients. Seriously, time is a non-renewable resource. Imagine you're booked with clients who pay you $100 for headshots. Then a dream client comes along, someone who would pay you $2,500 for a magazine style portrait session. But because you've filled your calendar with low paying jobs, you have no time or no energy for that big opportunity, nor do you have time to nurture that big opportunity. Like, think of it. If I wanted to make $5,000 a month, right, and I was a new photographer, you can make it so many different ways. You can make $5,000 a month by doing 100 $50 sessions. 100 sessions at $50. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of sessions per day at $50. Okay. Or $5,000. I could do 50 shoots at $100. 50 shoots at $100. Still the same. Okay. So what about $100? What if I'm charging $100? Well, that means still same math. Okay, well, what if I charge $1,000? Well, now if you charge $1,000 to make $5,000, you only have to do 5 shoots. Wow, that math's way better. So if I want to make $5,000, I can charge $1,000 a shoot, and I only have to do 5 in a month to make $5,000. Here's another idea. How about you charge $2,500 a shoot? Then you're doing $2,500 experiences, and then now you only have to shoot twice a month to make $5,000. Or you can do what I do, which is charge $5,000 a day, and I do that in a single day, $5,000. So there's all kinds of ways to make $5,000, but you're probably pricing yourself wrong. And by the way, if you're doing these low baller shoots, you have no time or energy or even mindset. And me even telling you, like, I make $5,000 a day plus expenses, plus usage and all that stuff, like, it's standard. You know what I mean? It's standard rate for a photographer at my level. So if you think about that, and that's like, oh my God, that's like, or you think that I'm bullshitting, like, it means that you're so far removed from professional photography, you just don't even have a clue what rates are. And also it means that you're working for people, and I work for businesses. I work for companies. I work for clients. You're working for individuals. Individuals get paid by the hour. So they're trading their time for money. So if you say a shoot's $5,000, they're like, oh my God, how many hours, months do I have to work to make $5,000 to pay you? You make more than my lawyer does. It's like, I'm a creative. You know what I mean? You can't put a price on creativity. And I don't overcharge. I charge market value and just a little bit under. So, yeah, but again, my quote that I did a couple of summers ago, did $53,000. $53,700 was the invoice for 3 days of 3 days of stills and video and usage, and it was a buyout. And the usage fee was $25,000 out of that invoice was usage. So if you don't know how to price that way, I have a pricing guide. You can get it on thecartymethod.com. Download that and learn how to price. So selectivity is key. Selectivity is key to building a thriving photography business. Selectivity. Like, that's actually what we're trying to do, is be hyper selective. So let's talk about how to build a business through selectivity. First of all, high-paying clients are not looking for photographers who take anything that they can get, okay? They're not looking for photographers that take anything that they can get. They don't want someone desperate for work. They're looking for experts. They want a photographer who has a strong, recognizable style, okay? confidence in their pricing and their process, and clear boundaries and professional communication. So if you want to attract high-end opportunities, you need to become highly selective with who you work with. I say no, sorry, no. I don't do that. No, sorry, I'm not shooting that. Sorry, that's not enough budget for what you're asking. Are you drunk? Come on, no. Say no way more than I say yes. So trust me, saying no creates better opportunities. Because first of all, you have to understand, I won't be seen ever. I will never be seen in an event with my camera, ever. I'll never be seen at a live event with my camera. I will be there. You can take a photo of me, like with my girl or whatever there, but I introduce myself and I'm like, hey, Carty, I'm Carty. What do you? And they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, photographer. Where's your camera? I'm like, not that kind of a photographer. What do you mean? And then I show my work. And they're like, oh, you're a real photographer. Correct. That's why I'm not here to party with my camera. So don't bring your camera to the opening of a door. Seriously. Oh my God, a door is open. Let me go run and get my camera. Like, oh my God, who cares? You were there. You saw something. Amazing. Experience life. Don't be taking photos of it that nobody cares about. So the power of saying no isn't just about avoiding bad clients, okay? It's not just about avoiding bad clients. It's about creating space for the right ones, okay? It's about creating space for the right ones. I don't take pictures, I make pictures. And as I'm showing you photography from Nadav Kander, you can see that Nadav also makes pictures. He doesn't take pictures, okay? So you won't see any examples of live concerts or any of this bullshit on his, or street photography, because anyone can execute the idea that is in front of them. Anybody can take pictures of what they see, okay? So you have to position yourself as an expert, okay? Something amazing happens when you become selective, okay? What ends up happening is the power of saying no isn't about avoiding bad clients. It's about creating space for the right ones. So when you become more selective, you position yourself as an expert. Confidence in your pricing and your process makes clients respect you more. The best clients want to work with professionals who are confident in their value. And also, when you're selective, you create room for your ideal clients. Yeah, but I don't have any. It's because your work isn't good enough. That's why. Every no to a misaligned client is a yes to a client that truly aligns with your work and is willing to pay for it. Okay? Happy to get no's when I tell my prices to people. Happy. And literally, if someone's asking you how much to shoot something, they are a lowballer. They care more about the price than they do about you. They are looking at you, photographer, as a commodity. So if it's not you, it's the next person who costs the price that they're willing to pay, because they don't value photography. So those people, just tell them your prices are $3,000 and tell them to F off. So those people will never raise their value for you. They will never raise your price. And also, if you lower your price for somebody, you will never be able to raise it again. Any low offer, once you establish yourself as someone who will and is willing to do something for a price, or willing to lower your price, you are never going to be seen for more than that value. You'll never be seen for as a higher value than just that. And also remember, you have to create room for your ideal client. I'd way rather not work so I can focus on getting the exact right client. So when I am shooting, I'm making $30,000, $40,000. And then I don't have to work again for several months. So every no to a misaligned client is a yes to a client who truly aligns with your work and is willing to pay for it. And by the way, you attract premium opportunities. You attract them. So if you haven't got any premium opportunities yet, it's because you don't have a well-curated, highly valuable portfolio. Okay? You don't have a well-curated, highly valuable portfolio, because a well-curated, highly valuable portfolio naturally draws in high-paying clients. Naturally. Okay? Your work begins to speak directly to the audience that you want to serve. I want you to think of it this way. If a Michelin star chef only showcases high-end, beautifully plated dishes, if they only do that, okay? Michelin star chef, they only showcase high-end, beautifully plated dishes. Guess what's going to happen then? They're not going to attract cheap customers looking for cheap, fast food. They're not going to attract that, okay? Because they're Michelin star, they're showcasing the highest end food, beautifully plated. It looks expensive. They're not going to attract people who are looking for Big Macs, okay? The same applies to your photography business. The exact same applies to your photography business. The more selective that you become, okay? The more selective that you become, the more exclusive and valuable your services appear. And when clients perceive value, they are definitely willing to pay for it. I know that you do. When you perceive something that's of value, you're going to pay for it. And let's talk about how to shift your client base to higher value work. Let's talk about that. And I'm sure you're tired of attracting low paying or difficult clients. So let me get into some key steps to start shifting your business in the right direction. And again, I've said it, I'm going to say it again as I look through my own portfolio. I want you to audit your portfolio, and I want you to audit your pricing. Okay? And I want you to ask yourself this. Ask yourself, does my portfolio reflect the type of work that I want to be hired for? Ask yourself that. Does my portfolio reflect the type of work that I want to be hired for? And I want you to remove any work that attracts the wrong clients. Okay? Remove any work that attracts the wrong clients, and add more of the projects that represent where you're headed. Okay? Add more of the projects that represent where you're headed. Secret time. If you don't have those projects yet, that means that you need to create them. You need to shoot them. Okay? This is the photography business. It prides itself on photography. So if you're not doing that, you're missing the boat. So add more projects of where you're going to head. Like, add more projects that represent where you're going. And raise your rates. Raise your rates to reflect not what you think people are willing to pay. Raise your rates to reflect the real value that you bring, okay? Like, low prices invite low ball and low value clients. Raise your prices. Number 2, you need to set boundaries with client communication, okay? Set boundaries and talk about that when you're communicating with your clients. First of all, premium clients, they expect professional interaction. Professional interaction. So make sure that your process reflects that you use a structured inquiry process, okay? And clients will notice. So you need to use a structured inquiry process. Like, what happens when someone's like, hey, I want to do a photo shoot? Like, what happens when someone reaches out? And I want you to direct potential clients into a proper booking system. Like, see if you can get them off of DMs and into email, off of DMs and onto a Zoom call. And I want you to not post this publicly, like don't put this on your website, but I want you to have like a PDF or like a clear pricing guide so you have an understanding of what your rates are. So if someone is way below budget, like you're going to know immediately that they're not a fit. And you'll have this pricing guide as a PDF that you can, or a private link that no one can get access to on your website, and you can just send it to them. Okay? And by the way, they'll see immediately whether like they can afford you or not. And by the way, be selective in who you respond to. Okay? If you get people like lowball inquiries, like, and people that are like, yo, do you do weddings? Or like, how much for passport photos? Like, you don't need to respond to these people. Like, just leave them on the table. The whole goal is to pre-qualify clients before taking on the work. You have to pre-qualify clients, and pre-qualifying clients you can do a couple of different ways. The way that I do it is I have this thing called Meet with Carty. Okay, and this, if anybody wants to shoot with me or meet with me, they have to go through this process, okay? And what this does is it pre-qualifies. So book a one-to-one strategy session with Carty. So we'll put my first and my last and my E, and then we will send. And it's going to start. So look what it does. Help me understand your needs. I need photography or video created. I need help with my photography business. So because you guys are photographers, let's assume that this is what someone who's trying to hire me, this is what they experience. So I need photography services. So how would you describe your current needs? I just started looking for photographers and I found you. I've decided that you are the one to bring this to life. I decided I need you and my needs are pressing, or I'm looking for quotes. Okay, so how about I've decided you're the one to bring this to life? How will you be using this work? Personal use, social media, for my personal business, for a company that I work for a company that I represent, for an agency I own or work for. So it's like advertising agency. I work at a company and do the marketing. This is for a business that I own, or this is my personal use in social media. So let's say for a company that I work for. And then help me understand your urgency. How urgent on this scale is your project? How urgent? It's a 9. Next. What's your most important goal from this shoot? Double our MRR, which is monthly reoccurring revenue. Okay, so now let's set aside a full hour for a strategy session. Happy to help you turn your amazing ideas into reality. So schedule your session, and then you click this, and now it opens a Zoom link. You know what I mean? So obviously I can't book myself because I'm already logged in here, but that then opens, it opens a Zoom link, and then they're able to book a Zoom call with me. And in the meantime, join the discussion, join me on social, and download my pricing guide in the meantime while you're waiting to talk to me. So imagine now on the back end, this is when you have to qualify your potential clients. On the back end, I can log in to Score App, and then I see this on the back end when clients are trying to book me. So I just go to my Meet with Carty strategy session, and this is the back end, and I can see leads. So I'm going to go here, and it's like, help me understand your needs. I need photography or video. How would you describe? I have decided that you're the one to bring this to life. How will you be using this work for a company I work for? Help me understand your urgency. 9, what's your most important goal? Double our MRR, monthly recurring revenue. So now watch this. Now I do this and I say, AI, send sales email copy. And now it literally, hey Carty, I hope this email finds you well. I want to personally reach out and congratulate you on your impressive score of 95 on the one-on-one strategy session with Carty. It's clear you have a strong vision for your photography or video project. I believe, obviously, you put in your company can help you bring that vision to life. I'm thrilled to learn that you decide that I'm the right fit for your needs. Your urgency level of 9 indicates that this project is of great importance to you, and I'm sure that I'm ready to move quickly to meet your timelines. If your goal of doubling your MRR through the shoot is your goal of doubling your MRR through the shoot is ambitious, and I'm confident that with our expertise and innovative approach, we can help you achieve that goal. At X, we dedicated to delivering. This is all AI created based on these answers. I'd love to schedule a meeting to discuss your project in more detail and discuss how we can work together. Let me know a convenient time, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for considering me, and boom. Automatic, just creates that email for you. Creates that for you, and then you just grab your email and send. So to show you again, and Score app, you can sign up for Score app. There's a link in the video description. This is what I use. This is I get more leads than I can keep up with, and these are all my scorecards. And again, I'm sure many of you might have done your it's called the Professional Photographer's Readiness Scorecard. And if you look at leads here and look at how many people and how many pages of leads from people who have done this, it is so pre-qualify clients before taking on work, pre-qualify every single person, and now you have the answers to those questions. I also bake in what's your budget for this type of shoot, between $0 and $500, between $500 and $1,000, between $1,000 and $2,000, between $2,000 and $5,000. Price is not an issue. That's the last one that I say. Price is not an issue. So this is what I do. So before you say yes to a client, you need to ask yourself many things. Do they align with your style and your vision? And if not, do they respect your pricing and do they respect your process? If not, will this project push my portfolio in the right direction? Will that happen? If not, the answer is no. Seriously, to any of those, politely decline and move on. The more selective that you become, the faster that you're going to attract the right clients, which is why I use Score app questionnaires to qualify every single client before I speak to them. It's a no-brainer. Even coaching clients, anybody who wants to talk to me, they need to go through that hoop so I know why and I know what their goals are from that conversation. So, big power of no, eh? So I say no. I say no a lot, and I want to just really drill in on the power of no and why selectivity is the key to bigger, and biggest success. Saying no is one of the most powerful business strategies that you can develop as a photographer, okay? Saying no is one of the most powerful business strategies that you can develop as a photographer. Every time you say yes to a client who undervalues your work, demands last-minute discounts, or ignores your creative vision, you're also saying no to better opportunities. Okay? It's easy to think that turning down work is risky, especially when money's tight. But the truth is, taking on the wrong clients holds you back far more than declining a single project ever will. Saying yes to everything keeps you stuck at the level that you're trying to grow beyond. Okay? The most successful photographers are not afraid to be selective. They understand that their portfolio, their reputation, and their energy are far too valuable to waste on projects that don't align with their goals, with their vision. Learning to say no strategically isn't arrogance. It's a necessary step in attracting better clients, higher paying clients, and more fulfilling work. Heyo, super chat. Let's go, Mike. Thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate you, Mike, for the super chat. As you can see, the lights are going crazy because the lights like to go crazy after a super chat happens. I appreciate you, Mike. And also, Smoke Machine, wake up. Smoke Machine will wake itself up in a second. Mike, I appreciate you. Thank you for the $2 super chat. That's very kind and sweet of you, Michael Steinmetz. So, learning to say no is not, it's not arrogance. It's the first necessary step in attracting better clients, higher pay, and more fulfilling work. And I mean, it's important for you to know, like, these projects, like the Porter, we flew to Winnipeg to shoot this, me and my assistant. This advertising, this national campaign for Say Yes to the Dress, Vogue magazine, all the work I do for CBC and CD covers and Eddie Griffin, Undercover Brother, key artwork, and movie poster, key artwork, magazine editorial, CD covers, international magazine covers from German magazines. And I live here in Canada, and I shot this in London. So imagine, I shot this in the UK for a magazine in Germany, and I live in Toronto. I show what I want to shoot, and this is the stuff that I get hired to shoot. I get hired to shoot fashion editorial. I get hired to shoot portraits, and I shoot for a lot of magazines, a lot of magazines of all sizes. And I also have rented a reindeer. I've also rented a reindeer and a tank. So there's nothing that we can't do as photographers. Have a look through my, and yes, I shot Casey and JoJo's Emotional album in LA. We have to curate, okay? Saying no is huge. And also, saying no creates bigger opportunities. Saying no creates bigger opportunities. I say no so much, but you can see in saying no as often as I do, it seems that I still seem to get a awful lot of work for saying no as often as I do. But when you say yes, it aligns so beautifully. When you say yes for the right client, it's epic when you're doing the right work for the right client. Most photographers operate from a scarcity mindset, okay? They operate from this mindset. If I say no to this client, nobody's ever going to hire me. If I say no, I'll get known as the guy who says no. I might never get another inquiry. Never. Reality, the wrong clients take up too much space that the right clients could have filled. When you say yes, when you keep saying yes to the wrong work, oh my God. What happens when you keep saying yes to the wrong work? Well, you dilute your brand. That's number one. Taking on misaligned work, it confuses your audience. If your portfolio is filled with like street photo, portrait, fashion picture, car, book, like if your portfolio is filled with cheap, uninspiring jobs or stuff that just you think is cool, high-end clients will not take you seriously. So here's another thing that you're doing when you do this is you're lowering your perceived value, okay? You're lowering your perceived value. Clients can tell when a photographer is desperate for work, okay? They can tell. It literally, it's all over you. It's all over you with your communication. It's all over you. Like desperation is like bad breath. Like people can tell it from afar. Seriously. So what ends up happening is when you accept jobs that you're not aligned with, when you say yes to things that you should really be saying no to, clients can tell. when you're a photographer that's desperate for work. The more you lower your standards, the more people will expect discounts, last minute flexibility, and like favors. Like, yo, come on, man, I'll pay you next time. I'll pay you next time. Like, and also, if you're making garbage work, you're just happy that people are asking you to do anything with your camera. And all that does is lower the overall quality of photography in the industry, period. I'd rather you just get better. And this is all that I try to do here on the Carty method. So this is another thing that happens when you say yes to things that you should be saying no to. You burn out and you lose motivation. Okay? Working with difficult, low-paying clients, it drains your energy, bro. It drains your energy and it drains your enthusiasm. You end up too exhausted to work on projects that could actually push your career forward. You're too exhausted, okay? Now, imagine the opposite scenario. One where you only say yes to projects that inspire you, pay well, and help you move to the next level. That's it. That's the only ones you say yes to. They inspire. Yes, I would love to shoot that. That makes me feel like, oh, I would love to be a part of that. And projects that pay. And projects that help you grow. That's it. That's all that you're interested in doing. If that's the case, you'd be able to have stacks like this, sitting around, not even stressing about it. Your portfolio becomes a magnet for high-paying clients. The work that you showcase attracts more of the same. If your portfolio is filled with high-quality creative projects, premium clients will seek you out. They will, okay? Also, you'll gain more confidence in your pricing. The more selective you are, the more that you start seeing your worth. You actually start seeing your worth better when you start pricing yourself a little bit up, and you'll start getting that confidence. Saying no to budget projects reinforces your values, which makes it easier to charge premium rates. And always, by the way, if you're ever in doubt about how to break it to somebody that they're lowballing you, always just tell them back what they're asking you to do. Tell them back what so you want me to get up early and go here and shoot this first section. Then we're going to go to another location and you want me to shoot there. Then we're going to another location. You want me to shoot there. And then you're asking me to retouch 300 photos and then give that to you. Is that what you're asking me? Uh-huh. All right. So let me tell you why now I'm going to not do that. Or if I am going to do it, I'm going to charge you $90,000. So it's always a lot easier when you mirror back or parrot back what someone's asking you to do. Number one, it clarifies the scope of the work, but it makes it really easy for you to say, and you want that for $200? Are you on crack? What are you talking about? With a straight face. Always parrot back the ask, because it makes it a lot easier for you to shape your budget. You know what I mean? And also, don't shoot more for less or the same for less. Shoot less for less. If their budget is less, say, okay, choose the one thing out of all of those 75 things that you just said you wanted me to shoot. What's the one thing that's the most important? Well, this thing. Okay, so I'll shoot that for you for your budget. Everything else is all bullshit ideas anyways. I'll do that for you for your budget. Like, what's the most important thing? That, I'll shoot that for you for the money you have. Don't shoot more for less. Shoot less for less. So, saying no to low budget projects, it reinforces your value. It doesn't hurt your value. It actually reinforces your value, and it makes it easier for you to charge premium rates. Okay. And also, you create that space that I've been talking about all episode. You create that space for your dream opportunities. When your time and energy aren't tied up with bad clients, you have room for passion projects, creative collaboration, and high profile work. High profile work.
High profile work.
So let's talk about client selection, and let's talk about how to say no the right way. Okay, just so you know, you don't have to be an ass. Turning down work doesn't have to be awkward or difficult, okay? I mean, for me, it depends on the situation. It depends on the person who's asking and the way that they're asking me. Ask me in a cool way, I'm going to give you an answer in a cool way. Ask me in a, yo, how much for this? And I'm going to respond back, yo, in the same goddamn way. You know what I mean? The key is to have a system for assessing potential clients, recognizing red flags, and communicating your decision professionally, which is why I use a score app. Because literally, in one of my score apps, it's like, what's your budget? How much are you willing to pay for this transformation? This, or this? How much are you willing to pay for this transformation? And they need to see like that the high end is like 10,000 plus. They need to see that, you know, even if I end up getting 5, they see that they could have spent 20, you know? So turning down work doesn't need to be awkward, doesn't need to be difficult. The key is to have that system, the system for assessing potential clients, recognizing those flags, those red ones and the green ones, and communicating your decision professionally. I use a score app, so I don't have to talk to people. Here, do this questionnaire. And we can see if you're cool enough to work with me. And then after they do the questionnaire, I can look and say, oh, this guy doesn't have enough money for me. And I can send, heyo, Alan, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for subscribing. I can literally send out an email and be like, hey, I just read your scorecard answers. It just seems like your budget isn't really aligning for what you're asking. Thanks for inquiring, though. You know what I mean? And then they can email me back and be like, okay, well, what would it take? And I'm like, it would take this. Or I can do this for what you're asking, meaning one thing. So, imagine, number one, you have to vet. This is the first way that you don't get lowballed. This is how you create a system for not getting lowballed. Number one, you vet potential clients on discovery calls. You vet them. Before agreeing to any project, take the time to qualify the client. It's so easy. Take 15 minutes. 15 minutes on Zoom can save you hours of frustration later, okay? Ask key questions like, what's your vision for this project? Key question. Have you worked with a professional photographer before? What do you expect in terms of turnaround times and deliverables? What's your dream outcome? In a perfect world, what happens after this photo shoot? What happens with the work that I do for you? In the perfect situation after the work I've created for you, what happens then? So you make them dream and go into this dream scenario. And then after you've asked all of those amazing questions, you say the 3 magic words. Okay? 3 magic words. You say, what's your budget? So you now have their vision. You've asked if they've worked with a professional photographer before. You've asked about what to expect as far as turnaround times, deliverables, what their dream outcome is, and then how much are they willing to pay for it? That's what you do. So you have to ask questions like that in every meeting. If their budget is significantly lower than what you have in your head, thank you. If their budget is significantly lower than the price that you have in your head, this is your first opportunity to say this. Okay, you got that? First opportunity to say no. If they've had a bad experience with a previous photographer and they seem overly skeptical or overly demanding, opportunity for you to go like this. Okay? Number 2, trust your gut. Okay? Trust your gut. Red flags never disappear. Okay? Trust your gut. Photographers often ignore their instincts because of this. It's just paper. Forget about it. It's just money. It comes and goes. Okay? So they ignore their instincts because they're afraid to turn down money. But if something feels off during your first interaction with a potential client, get out of the water. It's not going to magically improve once you start working with them. Any bad vibes that you feel, I don't think that this is going to work for me. I don't think that this is going to work. Any bad vibes, get out of the water. When you start talking about money, when you start talking about budget, if they start, get it out of the water because they don't have any money. They thought they were getting you for free. Okay. So it doesn't magically improve, but communication, you have to literally, this is how you learn how to read the market, which you hear me say over and over again. Here's some red flags to watch out for. Okay. They ask for discounts or they complain about your pricing. It's like, well, they want this, and you're like, whew, blah, blah, blah. That's off the top of my head, feels like about $2,000. $2,000 for photos? Bitch, yes. Listen to what you're asking me for. And look who you're talking to. I'm not a chump, you know? So, or here's another red flag. They expect unlimited retouching, or they expect excessive creative control. No, shoot me like this, and then I want you to shoot me like this. And then if you find yourself just being a camera operator and your client is just telling you what to shoot, you picked the wrong client. Literally, my clients, they don't say anything. They're just like, okay, Carty, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? Like, they ask me what we're doing next. Okay, here's another one. They show signs of being disorganized. They show signs of being disorganized. Difficult is another one. They're difficult. Disorganized, difficult, and here's the last one. They're indecisive. Well, you know, maybe this. You know what? I did like that one. No, you know what? Maybe that one's better. No, you know, maybe that one. No, maybe that. They're indecisive. Disorganized, difficult, indecisive. Here's another one. They have unrealistic expectations about deadlines. They have unrealistic expectations about retouching. Make me look 50 years younger. Make me look 20 years younger. Bitch, you're 100. I can't make you look 50. I can't. Seriously, I'm a photographer, not a plastic surgeon. If they have unrealistic expectations about post-production, you making them look like someone that they're not, unrealistic expectations about deadlines, and unrealistic expectations about cost. Run. Get it out of the water. Or if they've had bad experiences with multiple past photographers, it's them, not you or the photographers. It's them. So if they've had bad experiences with other photographers, get out of the water. Red flags. And if a client is raising multiple red flags, if you're getting multiple ones of these, walk away. Trust that better opportunities are going to come. Okay? Walk away. And number 3, you got to set clear boundaries from the start. Seriously, like I set clear boundaries from the start. One of the biggest mistakes photographers make is being too flexible to secure a booking. High value clients respect professionals who have clear policies, structured prices, well-defined process, and limited availability. Okay? Limited availability. Be upfront with your rates. Never negotiate against yourself. Okay? It's like, don't say you're charging $2,000 and then in the next conversation be like, okay, so I'll do it for $1,500. Like, I've already approved $2,000. Why are you now like charging less? Like, your pricing is a reflection of your skill and your experience as well as your confidence. Okay? Like, man up. And clarify deliverables, okay? Set expectations on what's included. Don't give raw files. Oh my God, do not give raw files unless it is like an advertising client, agency, and they will pay for raw file access. Have a contract, okay? So also, back on deliverables. Expectations on deliverables. I could do a whole video on deliverables alone and what not to give because so many photographers are just literally idiots with they do a photo shoot. They promise, I'll give you 100 finals. It's like 100? Are you who's going to use 100 photos from the same photo shoot? Are you dumb? Like, don't do that. So have a contract. This is the next thing. Have a contract. And again, I use Indie for my contracts. All my sponsors are in the video description. This protects both you and the client from misunderstandings. There's all kinds of amazing templates in there, photography templates, photography photo contract templates that you can just adapt a little bit for you and send it off. It's like proposals, invoices, estimates, all of that stuff, all in Indie. Sign up. It's a no-brainer. And also limit revisions. Okay, limit revisions and extra requests. Make sure that additional work comes at an additional cost. Here's an example. You say that you're going to shoot some event, and then maybe it's like portraits. Okay, we'll call them portraits because I hate events. So we'll say portraits. You're going to shoot portraits of a bunch of business people. Okay, so you're shooting 10 executive portraits, and that's the contract. 10 executive portraits. So you shoot the 10 executive portraits. Guess what happens at the end? They're like, oh my God, we love you. You're so great. Could you just shoot a group shot? Could you just shoot a group shot of me and my 11 partners? Do you understand how hard it is to set up a group shot for 11 humans in a space like this that doesn't look like an iPhone snap? Like, do you understand how hard and how much time it takes to set up a group shot like properly? And again, if you look, like, I've shot, and again, this is the type of photography, I'm not a fan, but I've had to shoot plenty of groups. And the reason I have experience with shooting groups is because I shoot bands. So imagine at the end of this session, the company is like, could you just shoot a group shot of like the 12 of us? Do you understand how long it took me to execute this photo? Like this perfectly lined up photo with every single person looking amazing and the light balanced. It was a fully rain thunderstorm outside this day. If you look out here, it looks practically dark outside the plastic because it was a full torrential thunderstorm the day that I shot this. But look what it looks like. Look at the light. Like, so it took so much time to shoot this, but this was baked into the quote. Individuals of all of these bakers, plus a group shot of the bakers, plus individuals of all the hosts, plus group shot of the hosts, plus a shot with all the bakers and all the hosts together. So this isn't just a 5-minute group shot, as you can see by the level of photo that it is. You can see it's not a 5-minute group shot. Like, we're talking like retouching the floor and like really going ham with this. Like, this is in a set where they film the Great Canadian Baking Show. So that wasn't an extra request. That I knew exactly that I had to make this photo. And in fact, I made this photo first before I shot any of the individuals. And it's a very difficult photo to make. So if a client pushes back on any of your policies, they're not the right fit. Simple. And number 4, you have to know your worth and you have to communicate it with confidence. And the easiest way to attract respectful, high-paying clients is to own your worth. If you hesitate, second guess your pricing, or I'm so sorry, I'm kind of expensive, apologize for your rates, clients are going to sense it and they're going to push for discounts, okay? They smell blood in the water, they're going to come for you. So this is how you decline a project professionally. Decline. If they can't afford your rates, decline this way. Hey, I appreciate your interest in wanting to work with me. By the way, I'm sorry though, my rates for this kind of a project start at here, and it seems like that might be outside your budget. If it is outside your budget, I completely understand. I'd be happy to recommend other photographers who might be a better fit. My other cheaper photographers that might be a better fit. If they're cheap, too cheap. Recommend someone else. Here's a hack who will shoot this for you. If the project doesn't align with your expertise, meaning you're a car photographer and someone's asking you to shoot portraits, say this. Hey, by the way, thanks for reaching out. I know you want me to shoot these portraits, but I'm a car photographer, and I don't think that I'd be the best fit for this project. I don't have that many reps on portraits. However, I can refer you to a photographer like Steve Carty, who is going to way more align with your needs than I do. Okay? That's what you do. Recommend someone who's better than you at the thing that they're asking. If they're a bad fit personality-wise, like you don't like them and you don't want to work for them, say this: hey, I appreciate you considering me, but based on our conversation, I don't think that this project is the best fit for my current workload. I wish you the best in finding the right photographer. The key is to be polite, professional, and firm. You don't owe anybody an explanation beyond that. I just don't think that we're the right fit based on our conversation. Okay? So, if your portfolio is not getting you the type of clients that you want, now you know why. And you know, hopefully, some ways to fix it. And I want to just go over some of the biggest is that Kanye West? Yes, it's Kanye West, college dropout. I walked away from him after 3 frames. Ask me about that another day. So these are the biggest takeaways from today. Okay? The biggest takeaways. And Kanye, crazy or not, I still have photographed him and had time with him, even if it was short. Your portfolio dictates your client quality. Okay? This is some key takeaways. Things to like, words to go home with. Your portfolio dictates your client quality. So if you show low-end work, you're going to get low-end clients. Simple. If you show premium work, you get premium clients. Also simple. Okay? Super simple. So that's a takeaway. Next takeaway, be intentional about what you showcase. Okay? Be intentional about what you showcase. If a type of work doesn't excite you, don't show it. Don't display it. Only post work, only share work that aligns with your long-term goals. That's it. So simple. And another takeaway, I want you to create work that you want to be hired for. Simple. Create the work that you want to be hired for. If you don't have that work, find photographers that are making that work at the level that you wish you were and intelligently imitate them. Don't imitate one photographer. That's called copying. Intelligently imitate 10 photographers, 20 photographers. And now you get to pull your little bits from all these little photographers and assemble your style, you know? But if you're not intelligently imitating and looking at photographers that works, you're not going to know how to make work that works. So personal projects are how you can control your career direction. Personal projects are how you can control your career direction. And if I just look at my portfolio and think of how many personal projects are mixed in with commercial hired work from the beginning, personal project, hired work, personal project, hired work, hired work, hired work, personal project, personal project. Yes, that's Jared from Kill Tony, golden ticket winner. Jared is from Toronto, and I met him on the street and took me 9 months to get him in a studio for photos. But he uses all my photos for his promo. Personal project. This is a job. This is a job. This is a personal project. Personal project. That's a job. That's a job. This is a personal project. Job. 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 Personal project. Personal project. Job. 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 So you see, it's like job, personal oh, that was a job, job, that was a movie poster, personal project. So like you can't tell what my personal projects are versus a job is. Like, this is a job. Yes, this is a job. This is a job. So, this is a job. Like, so I mix my personal projects. This is a personal project. So I mix my personal projects in with jobs. This was a personal project that turned into more jobs than I can shake a stick at. Personal work. So create the work that you want to be hired for. Okay. Personal projects are how you control your career direction. That's another thing to take away. Okay. And your pricing and your positioning have to align with the clients that you want, not the clients that you've had, the clients that you want. Clients take cues from what you show and how you present yourself. So here's some actionable steps you can take right now. Audit your portfolio. Do that right now. Remove the images that no longer align with your dream clients. Number one. Number two, plan a personal shoot. Create work that fills the gaps in your portfolio and attracts high-paying clients, okay? Like, if you don't have that work in your book, you need to make it. That's a personal shoot that you're doing with a plan in mind, okay? And here's another thing you can do. Join Portfolio Lab, okay? Link in the video description. If you're serious about making your portfolio work for you, my Portfolio Lab is where I help photographers curate a portfolio that attracts premium clients step by step. I hope today brought you value.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Hey, for you who made it to the end of this content, I have a challenge for you. I need you to tell me first, what one thing do you have to do with your portfolio that's going to make your portfolio next level? Is it build a website, or is it assemble the work? Do you need to cull? Do you need to curate? Do you need to create more work? I want you to leave in comments the one thing that would be the most important thing that you should do to fix your portfolio. And I want you to leave that for me in my comments. And bonus marks, I'm going to give you bonus marks if you post a link to your website. Now, no one's going to do this if they don't get to the very end of my content and hear me making this plea. So I'm asking, number one, post your website. And number two, post the one thing that you know that you have to do in order to improve your portfolio. Also, I also want to know if you watch me live or if you are part of the replay gang. If you watch me live, make a comment, not a chat comment, but make a comment under this video saying, I watch live and I made it to the end, or I am a replay gang and I made it to the end, as well as that other stuff that I'm asking. I love you. Thanks for watching.